Rebecca hated my Yiddish. A Tom to dinner, Rebecca.
If you don't have anything nice to say in English, David, please don't say anything at all.
Highness makes a schmeckle in any language.
Why do you keep talking in that damn Yiddish if you're not even Jewish?
David is a Jewish name, so is Rebecca.
You're not Jewish, David.
Of course my name isn't David, but by now you probably knew that.
Our apartment was filled with photographs. Rebecca had only taken 5 of them when she left. Now, she left behind photos taken of us, our wedding photo, the 2 of us in Times Square, my family posing outside the funeral home before my grandmother's memorial service, outside the funeral home before my grandfather's service, all of us in the cemetery after my aunt's burial, shoved into a vestibule because of the rain before my brother Matthew's funeral.
Babe? Why does your family only take pictures when someone dies?
You're exaggerating.
No, I'm serious. Look. Just look. Every one of these pictures was taken when someone died.
Not every...
Nearly every one. Almost every single one. Do you think that's odd? Other families, and believe me here, other families don't do that. I mean, they'll at least work like a birthday or a graduation in there.
My family mostly snapped candid keepsakes at birthday parties. Posing was never a practice of ours. It's too organized.
We don't have to hang them if they bother you that much.
They won't bother me, but don't they give you the creeps? They are my relatives, dead in the background. Think about it. In every one of these pictures, someone dead is just a few feet away. Doesn't that give you the creeps?
I don't know. It's Laban, I guess. Laban was tight.
Jesus, not the Yiddish. Are you gonna do that for the rest of our lives? Are you gonna do that for the rest of our lives?
I said her name wasn't actually Rebecca, didn't I?
Rebecca never said as such, but she seemed especially fixated on that photo of my brother's funeral. And once I caught her sitting in the hallway, just staring up at it, chewing on her thumbnail.
My wife never had that kind of a habit, biting her nails. But then again, I've never actually been married. I've never been dumped for a month or midget, and I don't particularly care for the word midget, I might as well say now. But it's a provocative word in its own way, and I thought it would draw you into the story. And this is a story, so I have to think of that sort of thing, all capitalist or market or whatnot though it might seem. So yes, this is fiction, more or less all of it. Not a bit is true, actually. All lies from beginning to end. And maybe I should feel bad about that, but I don't really. I don't care a whole lot about truth. If I did, if that's what I was after, I'd tell you something simple like, for example, one of my earliest memories of my real brother. Like how we shared a room for most of our childhood. And one night, still just a baby, a goddamn 2-year-old baby, I climbed out of my crib and crawled up into his bed and forced my way under his covers. I don't know why I did it. I'm sure it was the only time, but you know what? My brother let me hog the sheets, kick him in my sleep, and and I must have woken up for this. He kissed me on the forehead. My 5-year-old brother kissing me on the forehead. I mean, that's pretty sweet, don't you think? Can you get any more dear than that? Just friggin' dear, right? If I did care about truth at all, even in the slightest, I'd tell you that story.
Rebecca always smoked with the living room window open. She spent half her life with her head stuck out that window. Watching her made me nervous, though, leaning out the window 9 stories over Lafayette Street, and I decided I preferred the stink and the tammate to the idea of scooping her body off the sidewalk. And I told her so. Would you come inside, please? I prefer the stink and the tammate to the idea of scooping your body off the sidewalk.
Are you ever gonna tell me why you talk like a Jew?
I like the way it sounds, and we should all appreciate other cultures.
No, I'm fine with Yiddish in and of itself. But why do you talk like a damn Jew all the time?
And just how does a damn Jew talk? The windowsill was her ashtray. On windy days, some umglick down the block might get a dozen soggy butts in the punham. You make me nervous out there. I don't like the idea of identifying your pulverized body at the morgue.
Give it time.
Sometimes in the span between the beginning and the end, stories can sag a little, lose momentum. They age too early, you could say. Sex can spice up some stories, but I can't go around adding it to everything as if it belonged there, was expected. When sex fails, though, science is an excellent substitute.
But what are the 8 criteria for a living organism?
It's very simple, Davy. The 8 criteria are an orderly structure, the consumption of energy, maintaining an internal environment, change during lifetime, reproduction, response to stimuli, adaptation, and the last is, oh yes, memory. Think you can remember that?
I remember kissing Rebecca for no other reason than to feel the softness of her neck.
My wife is allergic to garlic, can't get near it.
I remember we only had 2 days for a honeymoon and spent it in either our bed or the kitchen because we couldn't afford a trip. The morning after the second day, we closed our eyes tight. And in honor of our desire to feel each other near for a little while longer, the sun fell back behind the city, and we were given a third night. And then a fourth. And a week passed before the next sunrise.